I think we're paralyzed in faith. In our lives, we're paralyzed in faith. And we don't realize that oftentimes until it's a little too late. I really want to talk about Matthew 9, which talks about an incident where Jesus healed a paralyzed man. And I'm going to go ahead and read some from that. Some people brought to him a paralyzed man on a mat. Seeing their faith, Jesus said to a paralyzed man, "Be encouraged, my child, your sins are forgiven." Emphasis, seeing their faith. Later, then Jesus turned to the paralyzed man and said, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home." And the man jumped up and went home. Fear swept through the crowd as they saw this happen, and they praised God for giving humans such authority. We're paralyzed in faith, and we're paralyzed in our daily lives of certain things we can do. Everything that we can achieve can be achieved through Jesus, through God. And this just right here shows that if we have faith, Jesus, seeing the people's faith, Jesus saw the faith of the people that brought the man, the paralyzed man, in front of him. Jesus saw their faith. How beautiful is that? And he just said, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home." And it happened. The guy picked up his mat, went home. Everyone was in disbelief. And, the Bible does say if we have the faith the size of a mustard seed, we'll be able to move mountains. I get that. But in reality, if you take a step back and you really think of how crazy that is, just by showing faith, insane things can happen, things that we can never even think of. A little bit later, I want to emphasize Jesus had went on with his was traveling with his disciples and through other towns, and what had happened is there was a woman who had suffered 12 years with constant bleeding. 12 years. Now let me say this. I doubt 99% of the people watching this video have had some sort of physical pain for 12 years. 12 years, how crazy is that? For a whole 12 years you keep bleeding. She touched the fringe of his robe, for she thought, "If I can just touch his robe, I will be healed." She thought that if she touched Jesus' robe, just by touching it, not even interacting with Jesus, just touching his robe, she will be healed. Jesus felt that. Jesus turned around, and when he saw her, he said, "Daughter, be encouraged. Your faith has made you well." And the woman was healed from that moment. Same thing. It's all about faith, and we go through life being paralyzed in faith. Whenever we're praying for something, we don't need to look at God as some sort of giant vending machine. That's not how this works. But the faith, we need to legitimately grab our hearts and just put our hearts on the table and put all of our faith in God. For through faith, miracles can happen. Through faith, Jesus healed the paralyzed man. Through faith, Jesus healed the bleeding woman. And this just goes to show how important having faith is. It's especially, in the same chapter, Matthew 9, in the same chapter, there's been two incidents where Jesus specifically emphasizes that by faith, the miracle was able to happen. By faith, Just the fact that the people brought the paralyzed man, and by faith Jesus did it. Same thing, by faith he healed that woman. This is just your daily reminder to not be paralyzed in faith. This is just your daily reminder to believe in the power of Jesus, the power of God. Hope you guys liked the video. God bless.